Hi guys, this is Love from Level Up Consulting Firm, and today I wanted to speak with you all about how to increase your productivity and just be better all around. So I did bring my notebook that I wrote a few tips in, and again it's going to be 5 strategies on how to be more productive and increase that productivity. So number 1, be consistent. I say this all the time, like consistency really matters. You don't want to put yourself in a position where there are things that you feel like you're supposed to do and then you're slacking on them and you're not being diligent. People have to know who you are, what you do, and if they see you as being a slacker or someone who's not on top of your game, then they're not going to want to work with you like at all. The second tip is to see projects all the way through. Don't halfway do something. Don't say I'm gonna have this done on a certain day and not complete it. Don't have incomplete projects. And I know that sometimes you literally can't finish something because unforeseen circumstances come up or whatever, but try to make this never happen. And I hate to say it, but I think that more so should come in with your personal projects. Like if you have something that you're working on just for you, just for fun, just to experiment with a different type of software or to see how something turns out, those are the things that you don't have to really complete because it's just something that you're doing for fun. But when you're doing something for a company or for an individual and you're getting paid for that service, do what you say you're going to do. Submit what you say you're going to submit. Don't halfway work on something just because you feel like you don't have to put forth a certain amount of effort into the project. It does reflect poorly and it makes people not want to work with you. So that was be consistent and see projects all the way through. Make sure you finish. Next is don't be resistant to change. And this is really for your personal growth. A lot of people get into a certain field and they feel like they made it in the field and that they don't really have anything to improve on. But take those additional classes. Go make yourself stronger in something. Go take an art class just for fun. Take a visual or graphic design course, something that will enhance your skills as a professional. And don't feel like it's a bad thing if you are approached by a company or a business that you work for even, and they're discussing continuing education with you. Look at that as an opportunity to make you better and to make you more money. You never know, like there's always different things changing and evolving in the graphic design world, in the world of technology. And if you can stay abreast of that, even if it's just a small course on how to use a certain software, take it. Like make yourself better. I want to be, whatever arena I'm in, I want to be number 1. I want to be top notch. I want to outwork the competition. You understand? Don't be one of those people that falls behind because they allowed their ego to get in the way. Like, it's just not worth it. And you should be growing as an individual, as a professional. Making sure that you're taking care of your own body, your mental health, because a lot of times as well, when people mental health declines, that reflects in your work. There are people who start a company from the bottom and they work so hard and so hard and so hard, but they neglect their mental health, and then their company falls by the wayside because now I need to leave here so I can go take care of myself, when you could be taking care of yourself the entire time and avoid that burnout. So for my next tip, and what's really funny about this video, I literally had to record it in segments today, but I'm finishing it to completion, and it looks 3 different ways, 3 different backgrounds. Oh, but we're getting it done regardless. So I don't make excuses for why I'm not able to complete something and why something went wrong and I have to record the whole video all over again. No, we improvise. We pick up where we leave off and then we keep it moving. Found my page. All right, so next is meet deadlines. I have a deadline, right? And so every week by Thursday, I put it on my calendar and I put YouTube video on that calendar. And if my video was not recorded by that Thursday when I get the alert at 10 a.m., then I know I need to go ahead and make my video, but I'm proactive. So instead of me waiting until that week, I typically record the week before so we won't have that issue. Understand? So meet your deadlines. Also give yourself deadlines. Let's say you have a project with someone and they're like, okay, just have it to me whenever. People say that all the time because they don't think that it's time sensitive, or they don't want to put a deadline on you because they don't want you to feel rushed. But make a deadline for yourself, even if they don't give you one. And if you still want that flexibility and that leeway to be like, okay, well, I don't want to tell this person this specific date because it may not be done until this day, then don't say anything, but give yourself a deadline in your head. Make it like a week after you have the discussion with them, or 2 weeks after. But make sure you meet your commitment. Because what you don't want is for someone never to come back to you because it took a whole month for me to get my stuff back, my pictures or my video or my content, whatever it is. You don't want that. And people aren't going to say, oh, I told them just give it to me whenever. Most people just aren't that honest. And to be quite frank, they don't have to. It did take you a month, regardless of if they gave you a deadline or not. And that's a long time, right? So pace yourself and create deadlines if you don't have them so you can hold yourself accountable. Sometimes you also have to break products into chunks. So, for instance, I'm in college, right? So when I do my papers, if I have a 10-page paper, okay, 2 to 3 pages on Monday, 4 pages on Wednesday. Then I finish my remaining 2 or 3 pages on that Friday, right? And so I'm able to pace myself. Let's say I skipped Wednesday and I didn't do that 4 pages. I can do it on Thursday and then still be there to finish up that 2 or 3 pages on Friday. But I'm creating a timeline and a guide for myself. It doesn't mean that you may not detour away from it slightly, but at least you'll hit as close to it as possible. As a matter of fact, when you're dealing with other people and their products, give yourself an earlier deadline. So if they say, okay, give it to me in 2 weeks, give yourself a week and a half to get it done. And then if it's not completely done in that week and a half, you have an extra 3 days, 3 or 4 days to finish it, right? Because things do happen. So lastly, follow up. And always follow up with a person. If you don't know a question, ask. If you don't have the answer to something, ask. Please make sure you check in with them. Hey, I just wanted to let you know I'm halfway done. I'll have it done by this day as promised. I hope all is well. Talk to you next week. Check in. Because people get anxious about their stuff. They do. People get anxious about their stuff. They want their product. They want their service. Make sure that you are always on your P's and Q's and on top of things. So just to recap, be consistent. See projects all the way through. Make sure you finish them. Do not be resistant to change, your personal growth. Meet deadlines. If they don't have a deadline, set one for yourself. And lastly, follow up and be sure to ask questions and check in with these individuals. So even if it's just something as simple as, oh, I can't remember if you said black and white or you wanted a more opaque image, ask anyway. This is Love from Level Up Consulting Firm. I hope you learned something from this video. Thank you for bearing with me with my changing backgrounds. It's just going to make it more interesting, you know. But ultimately, don't make any excuses for yourself. Get the project done, right? And make sure that it still looks nice. Like I'm going to have my transitions, my sound effects. I'm working, you know. I've been trying. At my earlier videos, I didn't have my logo there. So now you guys see my video with the logo. I got my little theme music going. I'm learning, right? And so as people see my videos when I first started a few weeks back, they will see my growth and be able to follow that process. But if I'm not constantly reinventing myself and making sure that I switch it up a little bit or add more and try to learn the craft, they're not going to follow me. It's gonna, wow, her videos look exactly the same. She's boring. I don't like this. Then they're not listening to the information anymore, right? So love and light to you. Have a great day. If you need my services, you have any questions for me, please reach out to me via email, lvlupconsultingfirm@gmail.com. Bye.